John here with Launch It. I'm super excited today because this is the launch of my new book called Authenticity Rising: Awakening to the Real You. Back cover. And what that represents is the story about Jack and the Beanstalk, and what I like in that too, that's the stock actually, is awakening to the authenticity that is that enormous inside of us. And if you remember the story, if the bean hits water, or the water hits a bean, it's explosive. So I use that analogy a little bit in the introduction as to what it means to water the internal, genuine us, what it means to awaken the real us, that is, beyond the egoic construct. And I do a walk and a dance through this message, painting this scenario of what it means to wake up out of something that is, in fact, an illusion. And that is the conditioning that we have all been programmed by from our youth through traumas, through hardship and challenges and difficulty, just the real subconscious arena that screams, this is not me. So I want to read a little bit to you out of the introduction, and you'll get more of a picture of what I'm referring to. Do you remember the child you once were, the version of you who saw the world not as a series of obstacles, but as an endless, glittering playground? Back then, every day felt like an invitation to dream bigger, to run farther, to laugh louder. You weren't concerned with whether you fit in or met someone else's expectations. So true. Life wasn't about being, quote, enough. It was about being. Simply and freely, you were yourself. And then something changed. Maybe it was subtle at first, a discouraging word here, a disapproving glance there, or perhaps it was a sudden and jarring, like a door slammed shut on your wildest dreams. How many times has that happened to a parent or parental figure, or somebody just shutting us down because they were seeing something in themselves that they didn't like, and they, after all, because they weren't living their dreams, they didn't want the child to be hurt. That's one arena, one side of looking at it. Slowly you learned the rules of the game. Keep your head down, don't ask too many questions, fit in, be practical. Your once vivid inner world began to dim, replaced by the cold, calculated survival mechanisms of the ego. You didn't mean to lose that carefree, vibrant version of yourself. None of us do. But as we grow, we're told that the world is harsh and we must toughen up to face it. We trade authenticity for approval, passion for practicality, and joy for a fragile sense of control. The result, a society full of people wearing masks, striving to live up to roles that were never meant to be ours. But what if I told you there's a way back? What if the version of you who once saw the world as a playground still exists, buried under years of conditioning, but intact? What if the dreams you let go of weren't just childhood fantasies, but glimpses of the life you were meant to live? This book is your invitation to awaken to that truth. It's so true. When we grow in life from this innocence, this place of innocence. My next book, by the way, is called The Return to Innocence, and that's just about finished. But this place of innocence that is untouched and left alone to live its wildest imaginative space or dreams. And then an egoic construct that's a little bit older than us comes in and begins to shape our world. And they say, psychology and science has proven this fact, that from the age of 0 to 6 years old, or closer to 7, we're a human sponge, and we will actually be conditioned to believe what we're going to believe in that time span. And if we're not careful as parents or parental figures, we can shape a child's world that they will, the rest of their lives, be undoing. In other words, they'll be waking up out of that illusion to see life for what it truly should be and is authentically individual to that person, or that unique to that individual, rather. So we see it all around us, right? You see it in the mirror, you see it in your friends and your family members, you see it in society, on the news, all around us all of these personalities or personal realities that believe a certain thing about themselves or a way of being. And when we look at authenticity in light of social media, what we're seeing is a lot of that conditioning going on without people even realizing that that's what it is. You see, if I was just raised a certain way, I might have the language, well, this is just how I was raised. This is me. Get over it. What you see is what you get. But that's the illusion, my friend. When you look beyond the fakery and see authenticity, you even get a glimpse of it, of the childhood innocence that you are made of, the unconditional love part of you. You'll begin to dream the wildest dreams again. Waking up and dissolving that through love, allowing it to be dissolved through the awakening, is the place we're in right now. I fully believe this. All over the planet, people are rising in authenticity. They're waking up to the real them. They're seeing life for what it is. And I don't believe it has to be any more complicated than that. In fact, we're returning to the simplicity of that innocence, meaning that we're like the toddler that peeks up over the coffee table and says, what's up here? Wow, a whole new world to explore. That's what I mean by innocence. And oftentimes people, because of their programming or their hurt and trauma, believe that that is just not possible, because they need to grow up. They're told to grow up and be a man, be a woman, stop dreaming, stop playing around, stop, having fun, be more serious. Where did that narrative come from? Well, I tell you where it came from. That's the egoic veil. It's the part that says that we have to act and look and be a certain way according to everybody else's structure, their paradigm, to say that this is what society should be and you better play nice and fit in. Could I just tell you that no revolutionary, nobody's really done anything significant in this world has ever played by the rules? They're always busting out of the box of constriction, being held back from what they knew to be true in this multidimensional, multifaceted being that's limitless, the inside world. And that's what authenticity rising is about. There's so many nuggets of truth in this book that I'm so proud of, because it's a lifetime of culmination to this point in my life. I'm midlife, and I speak to this in such a way that's real, transparent, and vulnerable, and a way that you can just get it and understand what's being said. And then you'll begin to resonate with it. Yeah, you know what? That's me. That's me. This is major confirmation. I'm going to allow the surrender to take place to such a degree that when I see the real me rising, I'm going to engage it. So, a little nugget on Authenticity Rising. Get it on Amazon. You can go to launchit.com. You'll see it there. LONCHIT.com. Or just go to Amazon, type in Authenticity Rising. Thanks so much, guys, for listening, and stay tuned for more.